What's up, it's Destiny back again for another video, and in today's video I am encouraging you to know your state laws. I want to talk about two cases that have gone viral. They've gotten a lot of internet attention and news attention, and I just want to come here and remind y'all to be aware of your state laws if you are owning a firearm, operating a firearm, concealed carrying a firearm. Now, before I get into this video, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. We are growing by the day, and I love it, and I love you all, and I thank you so much. Be prepared to leave a comment at the end of this video and leave a like, and share it with your friends, family, loved ones, someone that you think might find this video interesting. Now, the first case that we're going to talk about, it could be three, but that's separate. So the first case that we're going to talk about is this case. I think they're in Tennessee, I want to say. They're somewhere going towards the Midwest, and this lady, she was at home with her children. 3 people kicked in her door and made threats. She retreated. She was on live, one of these platforms, live, so it was all recorded. She went into the room, she got her firearm, she told them to leave, they were saying things, she shot one of the people, and whatever. So she is not charged, she's not arrested, she's not facing any time because it was an act of self-defense. The state that she lives in actually is not duty to retreat. See, this is why you need to know your state laws before you own and operate a firearm, because some of these states require you to retreat if there is a threat at your own house. In your house, where your family lives, where you all lay, play, make memories, you have to retreat if someone is breaking in. That's crazy to me. But those are the laws that the people have in some of their states, so you need to be mindful. Are you in a duty to retreat state? You need to know that before you purchase, own, and operate a firearm. Thankfully, she's in a stand your ground state. So the moment the threat crossed the threshold, she was well within her right to do whatever it took to protect herself, her family, and her home. The moment, whether they had weapons or not, whether they were making threats or not, the moment they crossed the threshold, she had every right to respond with force, deadly force, to protect her home, herself, and her family. So I think that that was a good case. The people who broke into her house had no right to do that, but there were no fatalities. So she did hit someone when she fired a shot. That person was in the hospital under critical condition, but I think the last time I heard, they were no longer in critical condition. So they're going to be fine from their injuries. And I think 2 of the 3, or all 3, they're facing charges. They're facing charges. So it works out for the good guy. Everyone's talking about, where's the good guy with the gun? Well, she was. She protected herself, her family, and her home. And the bad guys are getting what came to them. So justice is being served. Now, there is another case where, and I think the second case is in Detroit. This is a little different. A girl and I guess her brother, they were at, I want to say, some store, and the brother was getting jumped by some people. The sister went and got the firearm and defended her brother and fired shots. I believe 2 of the people were unalived by the shots. I think one of her shots, it wasn't really in a matter of self-defense. It was like the person was trying to get away and she executed. That's just from the research that I've done. I wasn't there. I don't know those people. This is just the research that I've seen. So unfortunately, in this situation, I believe, like I said, it was in Detroit. So she was of age to have a firearm. I believe she was 19. I think they're stand your ground. I'm not totally sure. But the manner in which she did it, it was not justified by the law. Now, by morals, by family code, by bro code, by humanity, you seeing somebody getting hurt, jumped, possibly unalived. And if you don't know what jumped is, I don't know. Some people might not know. Jumped is typically when it's one person being attacked. It's not even fighting. They're being attacked by 2 or more people. that's being jumped. I don't remember how many people were jumping him, but I know she at least unalived 2, and I think there may have been 2 others in the vicinity as well. You can look up all these cases for your own educational purposes. So morally, and just, you know, seeing somebody being hurt and unable to defend themselves, you want to step in, you want to help, especially if it's your brother, a family member, whatever. However, she is not being justified with stand your ground. She's being charged with murder. So it is very interesting to see how this case went down. Hopefully she has a good lawyer and maybe something can be done. But let me know how you feel about these cases. And this is why when people make jokes, they're like, oh, so if something happens to me, I know you'll come to your rescue. Well, let's just hope we don't have to test that theory, because although I live in a stand your ground state, it's cases like that where the waters get muddied, and now I'm in a predicament. So that's why you have to be your own first responder. You have to carry for yourself. You have to be willing and ready to protect for yourself and your family. You can't be out here being kind of like a vigilante, kind of like a Batman, because kind of that's what the sister was being in this situation, unfortunately. But I personally don't think she should be charged with murder. I do believe that it was a self-defense case, because maybe she did fear for her life. Maybe she did think after they jumped him, they were going to jump on her too. You know, I wasn't there. Now my situation, just, you know, trying to think of ways of which this could play out more so in her favor. But it's going to be interesting to see. Prayers for everyone involved. But yeah, these are just some cases that have been really hot topics on the internet, especially in the 2A community. 2A means Second Amendment. And, you know, people are giving their opinions, voicing how they feel, what they think is right, what they feel she should have done, shouldn't have done in both cases. And so I just wanted to bring this all to you all for awareness, because, again, it is very important, regardless if you, whatever the case, prior military, police, whatever, just, you know, a hobby, whatever. If you own and operate a firearm, you need to know your state laws, especially if you are concealed carrying and have the potential to having to defend yourself out in public or at your home, whatever the case may be. You need to know your state laws. You need to know where you stand, baby. Are you duty to retreat state? Are you stand your ground? Let me know in the comment section below, what state do you live in? I obviously live in Florida. We know this. I am stand your ground state. Thankful for that. Thankful I haven't had to stand my ground, but thankful that I have laws that will be in my favor. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Again, be sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, if you love someone, tell them I love you all. Stay dangerous.